I sit quietly in the secret place of the Most High. In the stillness of my mind, I declare with feeling and certainty I have won the lottery 8 times. I repeat these words, not as a beggar pleading for favor, but as a creator, calmly and deliberately fashioning reality. What I claim inwardly with faith and persistence becomes my outer world. It is not the repetition alone that holds power, it is the feeling stirred within me as I say it. Each time the words leave my lips, they awaken a deeper knowing, a greater conviction that it is already done. I close my eyes and imagine the joy, the wonder, the gratitude that floods my being. I feel the weight of the checks in my hands. I hear the excited conversations. I sense the newness of my life. My senses, though closed to the world without, are alive to the world within. I do not look for evidence in the world of facts. I create the evidence in the workshop of my imagination. Repeating these words, I impress my subconscious mind with the new law that I am the one who wins and wins again. The outer world bends to the inner speech I sustain. I persist even when nothing seems to change, for I know the seed must gestate before the harvest appears. I do not dig it up in doubt. I water it with praise and expectation. I speak it to myself, not to convince the world, but to convince the only one who must believe, myself. I have won the lottery 8 times. I have won the lottery 8 times. Each repetition plants the image deeper until it springs up naturally and effortlessly. It is no different from any other creation. What I accept as true becomes flesh. The riches of the unseen world flow to me now, drawn by the magnetic force of my assumption. I do not strain or struggle. I yield to the certainty of it. I walk as the one who has already received. I talk as the one who already holds the prize. I think from the end, not toward it. In my mind, the celebration has already taken place, the news has already broken, the miracles have already unfolded. I win because I have already won in the depths of my being. I win because I have made the invisible real within myself. I win because I dare to persist when others falter. I win because I have mastered the only true lottery, the lottery of consciousness. What I claim and sustain within must express itself without. It is law, it is truth, it is the way of the awakened soul. I remain faithful to the unseen reality that I have crafted within myself. Though the senses may scream for evidence, though reason may argue and logic may oppose, I stand unwavering. I do not live by appearances. I live by the vision I have conceived and nurtured within. Every word I utter, every feeling I cultivate, weaves itself into the tapestry of my outer life. I have won the lottery 8 times. This is no mere wish, no fleeting hope. It is my truth, my knowing, my experience unfolding from the depth of being into the world of form. Answers that arise to me in the mind's silent moments, when the mind is still and the heart is open. I hear the sound of congratulations, the laughter of joy, the music of fulfilled dreams. I smell the crisp paper of newly printed checks. I see the vivid images of abundance streaming into every corner of my life. I do not simply say the words, I feel them. I breathe life into them. I make them real in the only place that matters, my own consciousness. Every time I repeat, I have won the lottery 8 times. I am not begging some distant power to grant me a favor. I am awakening within myself the power that has always been mine. I am stirring the divine imagination into action. For the universe is not outside of me, it is within me, responding faithfully and perfectly to the patterns I impress upon it. I am not deceived by time. Time is the servant of my assumption. Though in the world of men there may be hours, days, even years between seed and fruit, I know that in the higher law, the moment I claim a thing as mine and live from that reality, it is already accomplished. Delay is only the interval required to prepare the stage of the outer world for the inner decree. I wait with joyous expectation, not with anxious impatience. I know that what I have assumed is already mine in the timeless realm. and shall surely find expression. I do not concern myself with how the path shall unfold. The how is not my work. My work is the claiming, the assuming, the living inwardly from the end. Infinite intelligence, the creative power that brought worlds into being, arranges all things perfectly once I move in faith. I am the cause. The world is the effect. I do not chase effects. I change causes within myself, and the world must obey. The words I repeat are seeds. They carry within them the full blueprint of fulfillment. I do not dig up the seed to check its progress. I trust the process. I know that every repetition, when saturated with feeling, presses the seed deeper into the fertile soil of my subconscious mind, where it must grow and bear fruit. I have won the lottery 8 times. I live from the joy of that truth. I breathe from the confidence of that reality. I move in the certainty of that possession. I am not concerned with appearances. I know that the old must wither as the new takes root. If doubt creeps in, I return gently, without self-condemnation, to the inner speech that is shaping my world. I do not argue with appearances. I do not wrestle with circumstances. I withdraw my attention from what I do not desire, and I lavish my attention upon the feeling of my wish fulfilled. The world without is a mirror, nothing more. It reflects faithfully the beliefs I hold within. If I wish to see a new reflection, I must first change the image I project. I project the image of a man, a woman, who has won the lottery 8 times. I live as that being. I think from that end. I rejoice in that accomplishment. And as surely as night follows day, the world reshapes itself to mirror my inner change. I have trained my inner ear to hear only that which uplifts, only that which confirms my assumption. I do not give voice to fear. I do not speak of obstacles. I do not indulge in conversations that deny my power. Every word, every thought, every feeling must serve the vision I have claimed. Discipline is joy, for it secures the manifestation of my desire. When doubt arises, I do not fight it. I transcend it. I return to the truth. I have won the lottery 8 times. I feel it with all the vividness of imagination. I taste it, I touch it, I live in it. The senses may argue, but I have made my choice. I have chosen to believe in the unseen over the seen, the real over the shadow. It's brilliant. Imagination is the only reality. What I imagine with faith becomes substance. What I persist in assuming must harden into fact. There is no power outside of consciousness. I and my assumption are one. I and my belief are inseparable. As I sustain the inner reality, the outer world must comply. I hold steadfast to the feeling of abundance. I make it my dwelling place. I do not visit it occasionally. I live there permanently. I refuse to allow fleeting emotions to uproot the deep conviction I have planted. I guard my mind as a sacred garden. Only that which serves my vision is allowed to take root. I understand now that reality is malleable. It bends to the consciousness that sustains it. What the world calls luck, I know as law. What the world sees as chance, I see as certainty. I am not tossed by winds of fortune. I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. Each time I repeat the sacred words, I have won the lottery 8 times. I am tuning my inner vibration to the frequency of abundance. I am aligning myself with the infinite source that knows no lack. I am bathing my consciousness in the light of certainty. I know that money is but one form of energy, and energy responds perfectly to consciousness. I have magnetized wealth to me by the sheer power of my assumption. I need not chase it. I need not strive for it. I attract it naturally, effortlessly, as the sun draws forth the flowers from the earth. I celebrate in advance. I give thanks for what the world has not yet seen, but what I have already received within. Gratitude is the song I sing as I walk through the invisible corridors of fulfilled dreams. I know that gratitude precedes the gift, not merely follows it. I give thanks before the manifestation, and by so doing I hasten its appearance. I live in a state of joyous expectancy. Every moment I feel the thrill of fulfilled desire. Every breath I draw in the fragrance of success. Every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of abundance. I am no longer waiting, I am receiving. I am no longer hoping, I am knowing. The power that brought me this victory is not in the ticket, nor in the numbers, nor in the events of the outer world. It is in me. It has always been in me. It is the creative spirit that slumbers within every man, every woman, waiting only to be awakened by faith and imagination. I have awakened it. I have stirred it into action. I have harnessed it by the deliberate assumption of the wish fulfilled. I walk in dominion over my world because I have mastered the only true battle, the battle within. I rest now, not in idleness, but in confident assurance. The work is done in consciousness. The fruits must appear. I have won the lottery 8 times. I repeat it not to convince, but to affirm, to deepen, to engrave it upon the subconscious mind so deeply that no contrary thought can uproot it. I am persistent in my inner speech. I am tireless in my inner vision. I am unwavering in my inner knowing. I do not measure progress by outer signs. I measure it by the feeling of accomplishment within, and the feeling grows stronger every day, every hour, every moment. I know that as I change within, the world must change without. It is law. It is inevitable. It is unbreakable. The same power that governs the stars, that orders the seasons, that shapes the oceans, responds to the least movement of my conscious assumption. I marvel at the simplicity of the truth. I rejoice in its perfection. I have won the lottery 8 times. It is done. It is finished. It is sealed in the secret place of my heart. The world shall declare it in due season, for the world can only echo what I have shouted in the silence. I continue to dwell in the feeling of success. I continue to rejoice as one who has received. I continue to live from the end, knowing that the bridge of incidents must arise to carry me effortlessly to the fulfillment of my assumption. I trust the unseen hand that guides all things with wisdom beyond comprehension. I trust the divine intelligence that knows exactly how to bring my vision into the light of day. I do not meddle. I do not interfere. I simply remain faithful to the vision. And every morning, every night, every quiet moment, I return to the sacred words. Alive with meaning, vibrant with certainty, I have won the lottery 8 times. I feel it, I see it, I live it, I breathe it, I am it. This is my truth, this is my reality, this is the law of my being. I carry this truth with me wherever I go. It walks with me into every room, it sleeps beside me through every night, it sings in the chambers of my soul. I have won the lottery 8 times. I do not merely say it, I embody it. I let it saturate my mind, my emotions, my entire being, until there is no room for anything else. I do not plead with reality, I command it. By assuming the feeling of my wish fulfilled, I know that assumption persisted in becomes fact. It is not a matter of chance, but of law, immutable, unbreakable, divine. The more I speak these words, the more I feel the power gathering within me. I do not concern myself with outer conditions. I no longer ask when or how. Those questions belong to the old man, the man of doubt, the man of fear. I have put off that old self and clothed myself in a new identity. The man who has already succeeded, the one who has already received. I do not strive to make things happen. I accept that they are already so, and in that acceptance, I rest. I move through the world in quiet confidence. I no longer react to appearances. I act from my inner knowing. I am not disturbed by the temporary movements of shadow and light in the outer world. They are the reflection, not the cause. The cause is within me, and it is steadfast. I nurture the feeling of my success as a mother nurtures her child. I guard it from the winds of doubt and the cold of fear. I protect it from the chatter of the world and the noise of circumstance. I know what I have planted, and I know that it must come to harvest. The feeling of fulfillment is my constant companion. I feel the thrill of victory running through my veins. I walk taller, I speak with authority, I radiate the certainty of one who knows his place in the divine order. The world cannot help but yield to the force of my inner conviction. It is drawn to me irresistibly, as surely as the river finds its way to the sea. Every time I say the words, I renew the covenant with myself, I have won the lottery 8 times. I taste the sweetness of success on my lips. I feel the crisp weight of the winnings in my hands. I hear the joyful announcements, the laughter, the astonishment of those who see what my inner vision has already known. I am unmoved by the opinions of others, whether they doubt or believe. My faith is sufficient. My knowing is complete. I have mastered the art of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. I have disciplined my mind to dwell only on that which I desire. I have trained my heart to sing only the songs of victory. I do not entertain lesser thoughts. I do not allow fear to find a home in me. I stand guard at the gates of my mind and allow entry only to those thoughts that serve my highest vision. Every challenge that arises is an opportunity to deepen my faith. Every seeming delay is a chance to strengthen my inner conviction. I do not waver, I do not falter, I press on, knowing that the end is certain because it has already been accomplished within. I persist until the inner reality becomes the outer fact. I am relentless in my assumption. I am unwavering in my belief. I am victorious in my consciousness and therefore victorious in the world. The power that shapes worlds bends itself to my sustained assumption. It is not arrogance to claim what is mine by divine right. It is obedience to the truth of my being. I am not waiting for permission. I am not hoping for luck. I am commanding reality by the authority of consciousness itself. I have won the lottery 8 times, and the world must arrange itself to reflect my inner decree. I trust the creative process completely. I know that the seed contains within it the blueprint of the mighty oak. I know that the spoken word, when charged with feeling and belief, carries within it the full pattern of manifestation. I speak with power, I feel with certainty, I act from faith. I live in the end, and because I live in the end lives in me, and must reveal itself in the world of form. I give no thought to obstacles. I give no energy to doubts. I dwell only on the finished vision. I have already received. I have already accomplished. I have already succeeded. The law is simple. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and live from that state, and all things necessary for the fulfillment of that assumption will flow to you in perfect order. I know that money is but a symbol, a shadow of the true wealth that resides within consciousness itself. By mastering my inner world, I master the outer world. By feeling rich within, I draw riches without. By claiming abundance within, I magnetize abundance without. The world is plastic to my touch. Reality is clay in the hands of the potter that is my imagination. Each day, I immerse myself deeper in the feeling of already having won. I rehearse my triumph in the theater of my mind. I celebrate my victories in the sanctuary of my heart. I give thanks for what is already mine. I bless the unfolding path, knowing that each step is guided by infinite wisdom and love. I do not rush. I do not hurry. I do not doubt. I move in rhythm with divine timing, trusting that all things unfold in perfect season. I have won the lottery 8 times. The joy of it bubbles up from within me. The certainty of it shines from my eyes. The strength of it anchors my every thought, word, and deed. I have made my inner world a garden of fulfilled dreams. I weed out every stray thought of fear or limitation. I water my vision with faith and gratitude. I tend the soil of my mind with love and discipline. I know that as I nurture the unseen, the seen must blossom in beauty and abundance. I am the master of assumption. I am the builder of my fate. I am the creator of my world. Every thought I think, every word I speak, every emotion I nurture is a stone laid in the edifice of my destiny. I build with precision. I build with care. I build with unwavering faith. I have won the lottery 8 times. It is not coming, it is not becoming, it is now, here, real, true. I move through life as one who has received the crown, the prize, the victory. I am humble in my knowing, for I understand that this power is not personal but universal. It flows through all who dare to believe, to assume, to persist. I am no longer at the mercy of appearances. I am no longer tossed by the storms of circumstance. I have anchored myself in the rock of inner certainty. I have moored my soul to the truth of my fulfilled desire. The winds may blow, the tides may rise, but I remain unmoved, for my foundation is the Word made flesh within me. I rejoice in the invisible before it becomes visible. I dance to the music of fulfilled dreams before the world hears the tune. I live in the reality of my assumption before it bursts forth into sight. I am faithful to the unseen, knowing that it is the unseen that gives birth to the seen. I am a living testament to the power of assumption. I am proof of the law fulfilled. I walk as the living embodiment of my inner speech. I have won the lottery 8 times. It is sealed in my heart. It is alive in my soul. It is written in the invisible, and therefore it must manifest in the visible. I need no signs to believe. I believe, and the signs follow. I do not seek proof. I am the proof. I do not demand evidence. I am the evidence. My life is the unfolding revelation of my sustained assumption. I breathe in faith. I breathe out certainty. I live in the atmosphere of fulfilled dreams. I feast on the bread of accomplished desire. I drink from the cup of answered prayers. I walk in the sunlight of realized visions. I have won the lottery 8 times. My mind sings it, my heart beats it, my soul radiates it. It is the atmosphere I move in, the air I breathe, the ground I walk upon. I am one with my assumption. I am one with my fulfilled desire. I am one with the creative power of the universe itself. And so I continue to repeat the words, not out of desperation, but out of joyous recognition of the truth. I have won the lottery 8 times. I have stepped into the life I have imagined. I have claimed my place among the victors. I have awakened to the power within me, and that power is infinite, unstoppable, eternal. I dwell continually in the atmosphere of success. I saturate my being with the feeling of certainty. I let no idle thought lead me astray, for I know the value of disciplined imagination. I have won the lottery 8 times. It is not a future hope, it is my living present. My inner world is so vivid, so alive, that the outer world cannot help but conform to its image. What I see inside with the eyes of spirit, the world must eventually behold with the eyes of flesh. I am steadfast. I do not shift with the tides of popular opinion. I do not seek confirmation from others. I do not require agreement to fortify my belief. My agreement is with the divine power within me, and it is unbreakable. I have made my covenant with fulfillment, and it stands eternal. I have won the lottery 8 times. My claim is righteous, and my faith is the bridge that leads from the unseen to the seen. Every step I take is ordered by the conviction of my assumption. Every choice I make is made from the awareness of my victory. I no longer ask, can it happen? I know it has happened. I no longer question, is it possible? I know it is finished. The completed end is the beginning of all my thoughts. I act from the mountaintop, not from the valley. I speak from the fulfillment, not from the yearning. I breathe in the air of certainty. I walk in the fields of accomplishment. I swim in the oceans of abundance. Everywhere I look within, I see the shining evidence of my fulfilled desire. My imagination is not a place of idle dreams. It is the workshop of reality itself. What I fashion there, with faith and feeling, must take form in the world of experience. Now that life is not happening to me, it is happening through me. I am the operant power. I am the living witness of the creative force in motion. As I sustain the vision within, the vision sustains me without. I no longer lean on the crutch of circumstance. I lean on the everlasting arms of imagination and faith. I have won the lottery 8 times, and that truth holds me steady in the midst of all appearances to the contrary. Each repetition of these words chisels the truth deeper into the bedrock of my being. I have won the lottery 8 times. I do not simply wish it, I assume it. I do not merely hope it, I know it. This assumption draws into my world all things necessary for its fulfillment. People, events, circumstances, ideas, all flow to me effortlessly, perfectly, inevitably. I do not chase outcomes, I do not struggle against the tide, I flow with the current of my conviction. I rest in the assurance that what I have accepted within must unfold without. The law cannot be broken. The creative word cannot return void. My assumption is the word spoken, and the world must obey its command. I have mastered the inner conversation. I hear only the words of accomplishment. I speak only the words of fulfillment. I silence the voices of fear and doubt with the roaring affirmation of my success. I have won the lottery 8 times. Every cell of my body vibrates with this truth. Every fiber of my being resonates with this knowing. There is no power outside of my consciousness. There is no force greater than my assumption. The world is but a mirror, and I have changed the face I present to it. I have seen myself victorious, abundant, joyous, fulfilled, and the mirror must now show that image. It is not a matter of if, but when, and even the when is certain, for I live in the end and know that all things are now unfolding perfectly. I understand the sacred rhythm of creation. I know the cycles of seed, time, and harvest. I am patient, not because I lack faith, but because my faith is complete. I do not dig up the seed in anxiety. I water it with assurance. I nourish it with gratitude. I bask in the certainty of its growth. The harvest is guaranteed. I have transcended the realm of appearances. I no longer respond to the outer world with fear or doubt. I act upon the inner world with faith and joy. My reactions are rooted in the reality I have chosen within, not the circumstances that present themselves without. I am no longer a slave to appearances. I am the master of assumption. I celebrate in the secret place. I dance in the chambers of my heart. I rejoice in the unseen fields of victory. I know that what is sown in the invisible shall be reaped in the visible. I am steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of assumption. I have won the lottery 8 times, and no power on earth can take this truth from me. Every word I speak is a living seed. Every thought I think is a blueprint for creation. Every feeling I nurture is a call to the unseen forces of life to take shape and form. I speak life, I think abundance, I feel fulfillment. My whole being is aligned with the reality of my success. Written, I am the author of my destiny. I write with the ink of imagination and the pen of feeling. I script the story of my life with deliberate joy. I do not hand the pen to circumstances, to others, to fears. I hold it firmly in my own hand, and I write the story of a life overflowing with abundance, joy, and accomplishment. I live from the wish fulfilled. I do not visit it as a traveler, I reside in it as a citizen. I have taken up permanent habitation in the land of answered prayers. I wake each day with gratitude for what already is. I walk each moment in the assurance of possession. I have trained my inner eyes to see what the outer eyes cannot yet behold. I have tuned my inner ears to hear the song of fulfillment before it is sung in the world. I have conditioned my heart to feel the triumph before the world declares it. I have aligned my entire being with the end I have chosen. Nothing can deter me, no setback can move me, no delay can discourage me. I have seen the end, and it is glorious. I have seen the end, and it is certain. I have seen the end, and it is mine. The repetition of my sacred decree deepens the channel through which the power of creation flows. I have won the lottery 8 times. I feel it deeper each time I say it. I embody it more fully with every breath. I claim it more powerfully with every heartbeat. I am not seeking a miracle, I am living a miracle. I am not waiting for the extraordinary, I am the extraordinary made manifest. I am not hoping for a sign, I am the sign. I live in the vibration of answered prayer. I move in the frequency of fulfilled dreams. I dwell in the state of accomplished desire. The world must reflect back to me what I have sustained within. I rest in the assurance of divine faithfulness. I trust the creative process implicitly. I know that what I have assumed is marching toward me with the certainty of the rising sun. Every breath I take brings me closer to the full manifestation of what I already possess within. I do not chase signs, but signs follow me. I do not seek validation, but validation springs up all around me. I do not demand proof, for I am the proof of the power of assumption. I walk as one who has received. I talk as one who has received. I think as one who has received. I feel as one who has received. I live in the atmosphere of fulfilled dreams. I have won the lottery 8 times. It is not a distant hope, but a living reality. It is not a wish, but a certainty. It is not a dream, but a fact. And I live in it now, fully, joyfully, completely. I have mastered the secret place of the Most High within myself. I have entered the holy sanctuary of fulfilled desire. I have touched the eternal, and the eternal has touched me. My imagination is the womb of creation. My feeling is the power that breathes life into form. My assumption is the hand that shapes destiny. I am faithful to the unseen. I am loyal to the vision. I am steadfast in my belief, and the world must conform to the decree of the heart that believes without wavering. I have won the lottery 8 times. I have assumed it, I have lived it, I have breathed it, I have become it. And because I am it, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to me, pressed down, shaken together, and running over in perfect and magnificent fulfillment. And so I stand here, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. I rest in the fullness of my assumption, unshaken, undisturbed, unwavering. I have won the lottery 8 times, and this truth echoes through every chamber of my being. I have claimed it, I have lived it, and now I witness it. The power that formed the worlds answers to my sustained feeling of fulfillment. I need not strive, I need only to be. For in the being, all is done. In the knowing, all is accomplished. In the feeling, all is fulfilled.